Johnny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch is the venue for round 14 action in the Currie Cup. DHL Western Province hosting the Cell C Sharks, the home side, with no chance of making the playoffs, but the Sharks still in with a shout, depending on what happens here and later in Umbombela. Pretty scorching hot day in the Winelands this afternoon, almost 30 degrees in the build-up to this game. Not what you would expect as we head to the middle of winter, and this is how the Currie Cup log looks going into the final weekend of pool matches. The Vodacom Bulls and the Toyota Cheetahs comfortably in the top two spots, and they face off against each other in Bloemfontein tomorrow to determine who will finish top. And the Griquas and the Pumas meet in the late game immediately after this one, and that will also have a strong bearing on who finishes fourth, third and fifth on the log, and who will participate with the Bulls and the Cheetahs in the semi-finals. So the Sharks have bolstered their squad with a number of players with plenty of United Rugby Championship experience this season, captained by Jeremy Ward, who partners Murray Costa in the midfield, and just inside them Kerwin Bosch, a regular in the Sharks URC side. Werner Koch also coming in onto the wing, and LaRue Roots, Hiron Andrews have seen plenty of URC action in the second row as well. So a strong foundation they're looking for from their pack, and then some exciting, speedy and experienced backs as well. Western Province, Ali Vermaak, one of the more experienced players in the side, along with Juan de Jong, who captains in the midfield, with Cornell Smith outside him. Ebenezer Chimanga, just a third cap in the Currie Cup for him. Sergil Peterson moves to fullback, with Tim Sweel being unavailable at fly half. So Tristan Lades moves into that fly half berth, and that certainly will be interesting to see. We suspect a lot of running from the DHL Western Province fly half this afternoon. So still plenty of inexperience in the home side, a lot of young players. They've had some frustrating defeats during the course of this campaign, often losing out in the final couple of minutes, and none more so than last week in this stadium when they faced the Windhoek Griquas and lost out in the dying moments of that game. Plenty of rugby coming up on your World of Champions this weekend. This evening, Leinster against the Vodacom Bulls in the United Rugby Championship semi-final, and then live from DHL Stadium in Cape Town tomorrow, the Stormers against Ulster in the second of those URC semi-finals. So a perfect late afternoon in Stellenbosch for this round 14 Currie Cup action, and joining me in commentary for this one, former Springbok hooker Hanyani Shimangi. Good afternoon, Shim.
Good afternoon, Matthew. You're right, it is warm out there, as you see Jeremy Ward taking the Sharks team out. A team that's going to have to come out all guns blazing. They have loaded this team with some of the URC players, one of the mainstream players, in order to get the result. First, you've got to get the win, though, Matthew, before you can start thinking past this game. So, some familiar faces in the URC competition, mixed with some youngsters. It's going to be a tough contest out there for both teams in warm conditions in the first half.
Well, you would say, Shim, they have to apply the pressure to Griquas and Pumas by getting a bonus point win. They need to get 5 log points to get to 31. That would put pressure on the teams playing in the next fixture. And yet, even if they do that, it's not completely in their own hands. We've seen the effect of points difference, and they might need a hefty scoreline here. So you'd think they've got to go all-out attack from the word go. And Juan de Jong now winning a 70th cap in this wonderful Currie Cup competition.
And Matthew, you got a spot on a Western Province team that, you know, you go back to the first half of the Griquas team, that was their potentials. That's what this Western Province team showed what they could do, but can they maintain that sort of intensity for longer periods? Tristan Lates at 10, he'll be looking to throw it. Young Simon Miller, we've seen him playing 8th man for Marty's here. in the Varsity Cup. BJ Dixon's played a bit of URC rugby. Ali for Mark, one of the most experienced loose heads in the country, and AJ Jacobs is the ref. So the first half against Griquas is what they look at, and the second half is what they look to rectify. And if they can put that first half together for longer periods, they could cause the Sharks some trouble here.
So Tristan Lades, who has shown some electrifying touches from fullback during the course of this competition, now with ball in hand and a number 10 on his back, playing in the fly half berth. He went pretty deep into the Sharks' 22-metre area, and the clearance made almost up to halfway.
White ball.
So an early line-out opportunity. Jacques van Zyl in his first season of Carling Currie Cup rugby for Western Province. The man with the throw. You mentioned Simon Miller and BJ Dixon. They're more accustomed to the back row. And the two lock forwards for Western Province this afternoon, Miller and Dixon. Plenty of pressure on them in their newfound roles, but it goes to Marcel Tennyson first up. And into the midfield for the captain on the day, Juan de Jong. Thomas Bursey. And then taken the ground by Tennyson. Bursey, little dink over the top. Well read by Anthony Fulmink for the Sharks. Strong left boot on him. And first touch for Sergil Peterson. Playing in the fullback position. And he too happy to clear down towards halfway. So a little cagey start from both sides.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand that kick from Bursey.
Make sure there, please.
Sergio Peterson looks to send it. You watch him, you almost think he's going to have a run all the time, especially from the back. But I thought Bursey, Western Province had good momentum there. Play the ball, try to build pressure with ball in hand. Because the Sharks had covers at the backfield also, so nothing kicked really early on.
Karen van Vieren. Two very experienced locks. There's one of them, Hiron Andrews, along with LaRue Roots in the second row for the Sharks. Very flat ball for Murray Costa. And quick ball for Wright. Van Vieren around the corner. Strong work from the Sharks hooker. And another quick ruck ball for Cameron Wright. Bosch and Costa running hard and straight and pulling a good tackle out of Cornel Smith. Beautiful hands from Sikumbuzo Noche. And then he's there for the clean out on Hiron Andrews as well. Gumede. Right, Bosch. And his ball out the back. A little bit of confusion between Costa and Marius Potgieter. So they must rebuild. Bosch, cut out ball. Beautiful line from Jeremy Ward. And Hiron Andrews tipping it on for LaRue Roots. The locks working nicely in tandem, and Roots able to work the ball to ground. Bosch will pop for Dian Bleuler. Handed on by Costa for Potgieter. And it's lost forward in contact. So some promising phase play from the Sharks, looking after the ball in contact until the very end there.
They're just going forward too easily, I think, from the Sharks. It's even within that move, that ball to Marius Potgieter, that one or two numbers in a small space.
I'll sort it out the next one. I'll sort it out. That's you.
First scrum of the game. Very experienced man in Ali Vermaak on the loose head side. 54th appearance in the Carling Currie Cup, but Kutem Tunu has proved more than able, highly competent at URC level. And he'll be relishing this opportunity. Dian Bleuler on the loose head for the Sharks. Lee Marvin Mazibuko, Western Province's tight head. A massive job again for Miller and Dixon at scrum time, Shim. It's never easy to transition the various technical aspects of scrumming. Used to packing down on the side of the scrum.
You look at a guy the Shark side, Leroux roots the weight
Fine.
he adds in the back for that front row.
Sit.
For Mark doing well to hold steady on that loose head side. Jean de Jong upended. AJ Jacobs calls it a dangerous tackle. Just a little hand of apology from Currie Bosch to Jean de Jong.
That's that left at the end there from Currie Bosch. Unnecessary penalty from
Quickly keep the
Currie Bosch. You can see Jean de Jong just going route one there, trying to get some go forward for the Western Province forwards.
Ollie, that's you.
Van Zyl, front ball for Miller, no contest from the Sharks. Little chip over the top from Lades. Potgieter covering and gathers it beautifully on the bounce. Chased down by Cornel Smith. In right for Van Vuuren.
Release.
Miller hanging on grimly in the tackle, but then Van Vuuren to ground. Bosch, Ward, Costa and Roots, and then Costa in with a very effective clean. Lavaskachny. Again, building some phases here, the Sharks. Van Vuuren from Bosch.
Good tackle.
Some strong midfield defence from the home side. Right. All over the top from Bosch and beautifully read by Davids. A real vulture is Angelo Davids, but a little isolated on the ground. Turnover for the Sharks, and Roots barging his way upfield. Right. Waits, he wants reinforcements over to the right of this ruck. Finds Dion Bleuler. Seen very little kicking out of hand so far in this game. The Sharks adopting this ball in hand strategy and wanting to take the ball through phases, but inevitably there is a kick from right. The chase from Potgieter. Lades was back to claim it.
But,
yeah, obstruction.
Yeah, you can see that obstruction.
Obstruction, 14.
Yeah, it was Chimanga. Went straight across. I think Potgieter was trying to chase and he went right across there. If you look at the Sharks, I think on attack just going sort of width to width, but not really making any punches. You saw the runs from Leroux Roots. Once he made some meters, then there's a little bit of space out wide. He changes lanes. He's not even watching the ball.
A little bit closer on the mark, please.
There's not much subtle about that.
Yeah.
We mentioned at the start of the game, Sharks need to chase tries. They need to chase points difference in their efforts to make a Currie Cup semi-final. It's well played by Jeremy Ward. It was an awkward pass that he had to go low to fetch Van Vuuren. And then to the short side goes Cameron Wright for Werner Koch. One of those reinforcements brought in from the Sharks URC side, and he has worked over the touchline. Really come into his own in a Sharks jersey on the wing this season, Werner Koch. He's always full of energy, as we saw in the colours of the Blitz box.
He doesn't stop going, does he? It's going to be interesting to see him and Angelo Davids one-on-one. That could be a great contest. Two strong runners. I love the physical stuff.
Well, that's a pressure line out for Simon Miller and a pressure throw for Van Zyl. They've done well to secure their ball. Bursey tipped on by Tennyson for Mark.
Stay here. No.
And Bursey kicking the ball into the back of BJ Dixon.
Accidental in
And,
front of the
an
player that
unforced
kicked the ball.
error.
Scrum down, Sharks ball.
It's accidental offside, so it will be a Shark scrum.
Oh, that's disappointing from Western Province. It's almost like a little half break, well, mini break from Ali for Mark. He wasn't going to go for it. But yeah, that's just organizing your kicking plays here, getting into the right kicking shape to have a go.
Give me your mark, please stay on it.
And back under pressure, well, Western Province back under pressure. And the way the Sharks have made meters, they can hold on the ball here. They could open the account. So Western Province have to man up defensively.
Crouch.
First scrum of the game was a Western Province feed. They dealt with it effectively. There was a little bit of pressure coming through from the Sharks 8. Rock solid from both packs. Then a little bit of pressure coming in from Western Province. And Wright called upon to clear it, which he does for Costa. Then back to the short side. An advantage being played for the Sharks as Werner Koch has another go at the line. Pick and drive from the Sharks close to the line, just trying to keep defenders interested around the fringes. Roots using his considerable bulk
Advantage offside.
to good effect. Right, pops it that time for Gumede. And still the advantage being played.
Another advantage, offside.
This time a penalty advantage being played by referee Jacobs. Now it comes for Jeremy Ward. Lades went low, right. Switch from Kerwin Bosch, Costa. And there's just nothing coming there eventually. You've got to admire the defensive tenacity of the home side, but the Sharks knowing that they were playing with a couple of penalty advantages. And opting to tap and go to Werner Koch, some more good hassling defense. Western Province wise to the Sharks, and they too take a quick throw in. A big kick downfield from Lades. That goes Anthony Folmunk.
Move, Sharks.
All on the bounce of the ball here.
Keep that mark.
They're just keeping the mark. It's just not going to roll dead. So Davids away to Sergil Peterson, who sets off on a run. Chip and chase from the fullback. Gathers on the bounce. And here is Chimanga. Beautiful step from him. Peterson goes to his inside. Can't shake off the tackle. Here is Bursey. Massive hit on Thomas Bursey. Came right out of his blind spot.
Wow, where did that come from? Where did that hit come from? I thought Bursey, and he's down injured also. He was busy looking for the support play. Didn't expect that. It was a Jeremy Ward. I'm not sure which. Gee, the crowd just came alive when that hit was made. No one expected that.
No.
So Sergil Peterson started here, just linking with Chimanga. This ball should have gone a little bit earlier. So he's beaten right here. Now he's got to look here, and well done, Skumbuza Nyoche does the catch-up work here. But Thomas Bursey, oh, that's Jeremy Ward. Oof. Gets him in the blind spot. Didn't see that coming, Thomas Bursey. I hope he's okay.
It's the way you fell.
They landed badly, I think.
He had all the breath knocked out of him as well. That hit from the Sharks captain.
He's fine.
What was that check?
It's probably winded.
A good tackle. No. Yep.
I suspect fine is relative.
But look, the thing is, on scramble defense, you don't generally see big hits. It's usually scrambling, and you might tackle someone in the corner. You don't see a player getting smashed like that. And what Bursey was doing was actually looking around to see who to link with, one of the faster guys to go over.
Let's go.
There's a welcoming party from the Sharks.
There's your mark.
Jeremy Ward with the big tackle.
There's your mark.
Well, some enterprise certainly shown by the home side in exiting their own in-goal area. David's not wanting to dot the ball down. And releasing Sergio Peterson.
Crouch.
Look at that, 26 tackles already.
Bind.
2 per minute of time played for the home side. Notcher off the back. Right. And they are kicking. They're certainly not opting to kick the ball out. Peterson. Trying to link up with his outside support, well secured on the ground by Cornel Smith.
Tackler. That's why he's on the ball. Tackler. Good contest. Tackler.
That's the beauty about, I suppose, about having a guy like Sergio Peterson at the back. He's almost guaranteed to beat the first defender on counter-attack. As long as you win that first truck, then you've got the opportunity to play again. So the Sharks will want to make sure that their kicking is accurate at the back, and you don't want to give Sergio Peterson space. Simon Miller does the little pick and drive. That's Werner Kok that probably needed to roll away, and you can see the effort from him. Didn't get away quickly enough.
And a decent penalty as well from Tristan Lades. Set up a line out inside the Sharks' 22-meter area. Will be a full complement at this line out for Jacques van Zyl. Well, varying things at the line out. That's Shane Alderson, just his second appearance in the Carling Currie Cup with a take at the front of the line out. Maul taken towards touch. Beautiful stepping from Angelo Davids. Caught by the second wave. Bursey for Tiernison. And now Simon Miller. Keep coming around to the left of Bursey. And well, it was a wonderful line by Tristan Lades. Just unable to get the offload from Alderson. Promising idea.
Yeah, just because Shane Alderson actually hit that ball with a bit of pace here. Look at that acceleration from him. So steps on the inside, and that was the right idea to offload. I think Lades would be disappointed and didn't hang on to that. Very skillful player, Tristan Lades.
So almost back to where we were at the previous scrum, following the tackle on Thomas Bursey.
Time back on.
So heading towards the end of the first quarter, a reminder that coming into this game, Cell C Sharks would have been points hunting. Certainly want a 4-try bonus point and a victory to take them to 31 points on the log, to put the pressure squarely onto the Pumas and to some extent
Crouch.
Griquas, who face off
Bind.
in Umbombela immediately after this game.
Sit.
Again, it's away off the back. Very similar exit to the previous one, but this time Cameron Wright opting to clear the ball to touch.
No, just in line. Move over. Come off. As we spoke in the cloak, I need you on the mark. Please stay on the mark.
Some spectators enjoying late afternoon rugby on a Friday. Big game in Cape Town tomorrow, of course. Second semi-final, the United Rugby Championship between the DHL Stormers and Ulster. That's a big hit on Cornel Smith in the midfield. It was a bit of a looping pass that he took from Lades. And some excellent work from Chimanga. Made his presence felt in his first season at this level. Now Lades' kick. He's going to be on the bounce of the ball here. Not quite going to roll dead. Volmink is back, hunted down by Sergil Peterson.
Use.
Away by Roots to set up another ruck, just give the Sharks kickers some extra time and space. And then the charge down of Kerwin Bosch's kick.
You don't see a lot of those.
You take it in, your responsibility to get it out.
There's a nice opportunity here for Western Province.
Boot.
It looked like he had a lot of time. Maybe he was standing a bit too flat, Matt.
More of the in-goal area at his disposal.
Yeah, just good. Time back on. That's you. That's you.
So starting to enjoy a little bit more territory here. Home side DHL Western Province after spending first 15 minutes of the game camped in their own half.
Bind. Sit.
Chimanga positioned behind the scrum. And it's gone against the head for the Sharks. Strong work from Noche off the back. Roots ran hard at Dixon.
Oh, that's pretty solid scrum initially, but we couldn't see with the ball how the Sharks managed to get a tight head.
Cameron.
So if Bessie put in, he might have hit one of the props' legs. So it's hooked here. Oh, legs that rebounded off.
It was a good response from Sigumozo Noche as well. He would have not been expecting that ball to suddenly appear under his boots. Quick to react and to just build a little bit of momentum out of his 22-meter area. Scoreless after the first quarter. It's confirmation of that semi-final tomorrow from 2:30 live from the DHL Stadium in Cape Town.
That's once.
Ball is stopped first time. Jandre Labuskaghni at the front of that maul, just barking the orders as Kieran van Vuuren controls possession. Then the hoist from right. He would have wanted more distance on that. Chimanga waits. And it evades both him and Potgieter. A strong return from Morabe.
Stepped away.
And then Tennyson and Miller doing well.
Stop, all of you.
Peterson. Volmink finds Bosch.
Keep moving
deep
shots.
Inside his own half. And looking for a favourable bounce here. Not getting it. Lades is back.
Keep moving.
And just perhaps lost his balance a fraction there. He was going at a pretty fair pace as he approached the 22, but a reasonable clearance.
I thought he was going for the run, actually. I thought he might actually look for the run, but you can see now the Sharks had a little bit of a change in strategy, trying to more go for the box kicks. Remember, Matthew, you mentioned in the beginning, Sharks need a bonus point win to stay alive in this Currie Cup.
Well, they might not. That's the funny thing, you know, if they win without a bonus point, they go to 30 points, then they'll be really looking to the Griquas to beat the Pumas. But still see the Sharks qualify. Sharks coming into this game with 26 log points. Pumas with 27. Griquas on 31. Lost forward in contact and quickly onto the counter goes Alderson. Then Keke Morabe. His debut season in Currie Cup rugby and his 12th appearance. He's been one of the stalwarts of this side in a frustrating season. Percy for Mark and Dixon. No advantage.
There you go.
AJ Jacobs was playing penalty advantage for not rolling away at the tackle.
I think you see the excitement of Western Province, how dangerous from turnover. I think Skumbuza Noche knocked that ball on down in the midfield, and then Morabe took that ball up. But a lot of danger, a lot of hands on knees from both teams. The heat here in Stellenbosch is something else. 27, 28 degrees today.
Jeremy, we've got guys going for the clean out, and then a Meridor, people just stepping away, and they expect penalties. I'm happy with the action. So yeah, I'm happy with the action. So I can't step away and then expect a penalty. Okay, once I'm absolutely, then I'll deal with it. Okay.
Just some interpretation from the referee to Sharks captain Jeremy Ward about the action at the ruck. Tim Swiel not available. Cornell Smith takes over the kicking duties and does a fabulous job first up. First points of the game to the home side. A penalty.
I think the last time I saw Cornell Smith kick, it might have been Cravenreed, Matthew. I know he can kick, but you don't really see a lot of him kicking. I thought maybe Tristan Lates might kick, so put a Chamberlain on, Currie Bosch off.
Fifth appearance in the Currie Cup for Buddha Chamberlain this season. Also had plenty of opportunity at United Rugby Championship level, and particularly at the front end of the Sharks campaign before Currie Bosch became the more regular starting fly half. Percy.
Deep kick.
And Lades hunted down by Jeremy Ward. The kick away nicely. Noche covering in the backfield and into that beautiful languid stride of his Chamberlain. Big contact between Juan de Jong and Jandre Labuschagne. And a frustrating handling error for the Sharks as they were trying to build momentum.
Yeah, no, that's just Juan de Jong just coming up quickly, trying to cut the big runner's pace off. So he sees Juan de Jong will come up here. And there it is.
Got a scramble. Time off. Refer to that check.
Yeah.
Egan Seconds is the TMO. We'll have a look at that tackle.
I think he might be off here, I think, for a yellow.
That's you.
If anything, so it's up to Egan Seconds to make that decision.
Just checking for another angle for you as well, AJ.
No problem.
It's almost something similar that we saw in the URC game.
Okay, AJ, the next angle is probably the best
with the
angle that's
number
coming
8,
up.
so it depends where the initial point of contact
so
is.
we're looking at the action of 12 white. So, okay.
Is that the best angle we've got?
That's the best angle we've got, AJ. Okay, so is there foul play? Yes, there's foul play. The tackle is high. The angle doesn't show direct contact to the head neck area, so it's the front of the contact is on the chest and then rides up.
To the neck, so that's a penalty only. I think
Correct.
it's 13 wide.
Correct.
Okay, thanks. Just initial contact is on the chest and it moves up. It's just high. It's just a
penalty.
Just a penalty.
I'm going backwards, so
Still, initial contact and then it went up to the neck area. So yeah, that's why it's not a yellow card. So it's up. It's still a high tackle. So
look, I think it's a fair enough call. I think it's definitely not a red. You know, it's just the old school hit where Juan de Jong tried to cut the space up. He didn't have enough time to level change. But you can see he almost dips, and also Labastachny, as he goes into contact, dips slightly. So those would have been the mitigating factors. You always worry when you see those because you've seen players getting sent. I thought maybe he might possibly get a yellow for that. But I think he'll be relieved. It's just a penalty.
that's middle. That's you.
7.
Saw the Sharks mauling off their previous line-out. Now deeper in Western Province territory, might look to the maul to
Moving
just
off the mark.
drag some defenders in. Well, they're not going to get the opportunity. They've conceded a free kick. And Tristan Lades takes the free kick, bangs it downfield again. Frustrating times for the Sharks. Potgieter. And then right. Lula. Hiron Andrews. Cut down by Alderson. Right shaping to kick here. Magnus Potgieter.
Watch that.
Waiting to chase, but off the ball. There's a scuffle involving Tiernason, Roots, also Mpilo Gumede. And it's escalating.
I'm surprised
All done.
AJ Jacob blew the whistle there. I'm not sure what. I think it was a pushing contest at all. Then it's just play on.
Yeah, Jeremy. I don't know. No, there's nothing in it.
So a lot of counter.
Just two guys that
I don't know why
what they're doing.
Roots is reacting. It's a
Next guy
counter.
that starts it, we're going to deal with him. It's been a good game so far, so just get the message over. It's yours, Cal. Let's come now, Sharks ball.
What was their knock on?
I give them a mark. I gave you a mark. If you move over, spoke to you the previous one. Here you
The
go.
referee was just explaining there why there was a free kick at the previous line-out. It's just moving off the mark.
But I don't understand why there's a scrum here, though.
Well, it's got to be a restart. Sharks were in possession. I think he probably stopped play because of the scuffle.
Fine.
I wouldn't really call it a scuffle. I mean, the guys were just pushing each other. Probably would have ended somewhere along the line.
Right, Potgieter at first receiver, drawing the attention of both Smith and Bursey in defence.
It's used 9.
Not the speedy ball that Cameron Wright would have wanted. That previous ruck. Now again he will shape to hoist. Here's Labastachny and Potgieter lining up to chase this one. It's a test for Chimanga. Drops down just outside the 22. Chimanga does well, back to his feet. Bursey for Van Sail. It's very flat ball across the face for Mazibuko. Beautiful work from Sergio Peterson. And then Davids with a little switch to Juan de Jong. Just made 30 meters in a heartbeat there. Lades, ill-directed kick from him. Chamberlain covering in the backfield. Kicks from within his own half. Beautifully read by Lades. Fulmink. And that sailed way over the touchline, directly into touch. It'll be a Western Province line out on the half-hour mark. And 15 metres inside the Sharks' half.
You can see Tristan Lates. I thought maybe the second kick wasn't on. There's a lot of Sharks defenders. There is space and opportunity up front, right in front of the Western Province players. So the Sharks are leaving a lot of players back. I'm not sure if they're worried about the 50-22. But something's got to give in this game. Both teams, plenty of play, but not a lot of scoring.
Dixon, the recipient at the tail, slightly untidy ball, tidied up by Keke Morabe. And Dixon with some strong work. So too Tennyson, but they've held him up off the ground. Now the tackle is made. Miller.
Nope.
Another pick and drive from Ben Jason Dixon. This time, pillar defence got him. Tennyson. Beautiful step allows him to create some momentum here for Bursey. And then Van Zyl. Leeds, clever little grabber kick and chased down by Sergio Peterson, who is in for the try, his second of the campaign and a 27th in all of Currie Cup rugby.
Yeah, that's well worked from Western Province. You can hear Sergio Peterson shouting leg it on the outside. That's the call for Tristan Lates for the grabber. So Sergio Peterson's calling on the outside. What a good little kick. No one home for the Sharks. And earlier on, you could see the Western Province forwards just setting the table with the pick and drives, going through the middle, trying to suck the defenders in, because they've struggled to go around the Sharks. So this time the forwards trying to go through the middle and made it easier for the outside backs. No one home. Anthony Fulmink was in the defensive line. The scrum off. Cameron Wright in the defensive line. The wings were up, so the space was behind that line. And Sergio Peterson, good vision to spot that space and call for the ball.
Cornell Smith, 15 metres in from touch. This time he's dragged it way to the left of the uprights.
And this is the call. All came from Sergio Peterson. He's calling it out here. It's Tristan Lates' eyes on the outside. Well executed. Great kick.
So that's as it stands. So no losing bonus point in this scenario. An 8-point margin would see the Sharks remain on 26 points and ensure that both the Ealing Pumas and the Winterglager Griquas qualify for the semi-finals, regardless of the result of their game coming up after this one. But still 47 minutes to play in this game. I suspect plenty more twists and turns as we move towards determining who will contest the semi-finals next weekend. Been a challenge for the Sharks, the Lions, the Stormers and the Bulls, managing two squads in the United Rugby Championship and the Carling Currie Cup. Goes without saying that the Pretoria side have managed that process to the best effect so far. Costa, beautiful offload for Ward in the tackle, but then the ball lost in contact, and Davids for Chimanga, and bursting out of his 22-metre area. Wonderful run from Chimanga. Excellent tackle though from Anthony Fulmink. Bursey under pressure gets it away for Lades. And Tennyson, Smith, and Sergio Peterson in on the action once again. Tries to go around Murray Costa, gets his kick in, chased down by Cornell Smith. Excellent gather, and then Dixon. Available for Western Province again, and Bursey goes over. A stunning piece of counter-attack from the home side after the Sharks had burst into the Western Province 22.
Well, this is brilliant transition play from Western Province. Sergio Peterson didn't have the gas to go around Murray Costa, puts the kick in. Cornell Smith, look what he does here in terms of his breakdown here. Sorry, I think PJ Dixon realizes no one's home, so he actually rolls the ball out. Otherwise, it could have been a penalty the other way for the Sharks if there was a steal. But Sergio Peterson, Tristan Lades, Cornell Smith, all combining beautifully. And Matthew, I'll say it again, you mentioned it, this is the potential of this Western Province team that we've seen glimpses of throughout the season. But if you look at the log position, you wonder what happened.
Well, they've really battled for consistency. They've been in the contest in many of their games, which they've lost in the dying moments. As the players, the coaches keep saying, it's those experiences that you perhaps learn the most from. Smith this time has raised the flags again. He's been successful with 2 from over on the right side.
And Cornell Smith, just the awareness to keep the ball alive, because he realizes the players are coming out here, but what's the lock doing up there? Good leg drive, PJ Dixon. This is magic here, rolls the ball out, because the Sharks features were all over that ball. Werner Kok would have stolen that ball if he hadn't rolled it out.
A real desire to keep the ball alive in contact, but as you mentioned, Shim, a wonderful transition from a potentially dangerous defensive position in their own 22. Superb from Chimanga to establish that counter-attack.
Deep. Touched by Sharks.
A clearance kick touched by a Sharks player, but wouldn't have mattered anyway. Chamberlain. Good read from Sergio Peterson.
Touched by Sharks.
That's been touched by a Sharks player as well. Chased down by Keke Morabe. And Kunu goes back. That's excellent work from Kutum Kunu. And Costa was trying to just tip the pass on. He was under pressure from a fast approaching defence, so just a knock-on advantage. Sergio Peterson lost forward off the fingertips of Mazibuko, so they'll come back for a Western Province scrum.
That's well done by Thomas Percy coming up. That's because he realized there's space out wide, so trying to cut the pass off. And the Sharks almost getting the fumble sometimes with ball in hand, you know, turning the ball over against this Western Province team that really comes alive on transition.
That's you.
Go props.
Crouch. Bind.
Held their own at scrum time. Western Province with a bit of a reshuffled pack. Morabe for Bercy off the back. Chimanga just running hard and straight at a half gap. And Miller.
Entry.
Outside entry is the call against Western Province in the clean out. It was PJ Dixon. Just trying to clean out after the tackle on Simon Miller.
Oh, how powerful has Chimanga been today?
He's Ebenezer good.
Yeah, just powerful runs from him, and he's keeping defenders interested the whole time. Carrying defenders the whole time, and he's still under 21s. That's the scary thing. He's playing against some accomplished names in URC rugby, and he's pulling in contact.
Final minute of the first half. The Sharks looking for something to spark a bit of confidence going into the second period. As Noche was running fast and straight in midfield. Lovely little touch of the ball inside for Potgieter, but his pass is a poor one.
Now that pass was never in line. I mean, you look at that second pass, that was clearly forward. So the Sharks trying to create here. So there's the pass here. That's forward. That's never in line.
Yeah.
That was called in line. I mean, that's unbelievable.
See. Thank you.
So just seconds remaining. You'd think that with a 15-point lead and in their own half, Western Province would be
if I look at the
happy to just bring an end to the first half, but you never know.
Exactly.
Not quite sure what to expect from this team.
Well, you got Angela Davids and Tristan Lakes there. They might be thinking something else.
Sit.
No fireworks, no heroics. Just a good solid scrum, and the kick into touch from Thomas Bursey, one of the 2 try scorers for DHL Western Province. And the other try scored by Sergil Peterson, the extras added by Cornel Smith. The Sharks yet to open their account. Half-time at the Donny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch. It's Western Province 15, the Sharks 0.
The best of British is live on Sky Sport.
Who's it going to be then? When the lights go out, we're gone! Oh, we got another one down! Right from lights out, he has looked absolutely superb.
Straight all night.
You can't take your eyes off the British Superbikes. Live on Sky Sport.
This is Sal's NBL. Every game live on Sky Sport.
Help me up, never let it fall. Help me roar like an animal. Back to the moon. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my...
Oh my goodness!
Our best ballers attack the rim in this iconic Kiwi comp.
What are you kidding me?
Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone.
Sal's NBL. Every single game live on Sky Sport.
Strap in for Sail GP Season 3. Iconic locations around the world host these cutting-edge F50s. With Switzerland and Canada joining the championship, there will be new rivalries and more drama. Get ready for adrenaline-fueled racing.
Forces involved there, unbelievable!
United States Sail GP starts June 19, live Sky Sport.
Half-time at the Donny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch. It's DHL Western Province who lead the Cell C Sharks by 15 points to 0, 2 tries to 0, and a slightly bemused Odwa Ndungani has joined me. We spoke about the need for big points differences for the Sharks, a try-scoring bonus point.
We did, and we expected a good start from the Sharks, and we saw glimpses of that. You know, they made a few line breaks, but just not being clinical enough. And, 15-0 down, I think Province have done enough. And, they're just playing off the Sharks' mistakes. And we spoke about Lates, his awareness there, just sees no one covering at the back, puts a nice touch, and deserving Western Province getting the try there.
Sergil Peterson showing his rich experience there, calling for that kick. You could hear it from the stands.
Yeah.
And a wonderful read from Tristan Lades as well. He's done well at 10, hasn't he?
He has. And I think, credit must go to the whole Province team. They've really cut out the time for the Sharks. Defensively, they've been very good. Even though Sharks have made a few line breaks, but they've scrambled well, got back behind. And, like I said, they're playing off their mistakes. You spoke about Sergil Peterson looking there, taking the outside gap, putting that kick in, and, good pick up there. And just being patient and looking at the support line and look there. And then he comes there, sees a space, and he finishes off. But the Sharks will be very disappointed. You know, they still have a chance to win this game, so they have to come back in halftime, in the second half, and score first, and make sure that they put the Province behind.
And Oddy, we're just seeing the back end of this try, Western Province's second try, and a real desire to keep the ball alive in contact. That was the one thing.
Yeah.
But perhaps you needed to go back a little further there, because that started in the Western Province 22-metre area, and Ebenezer Chimanga continues to make his presence felt in just his third game in Currie Cup. He started the counter-attack that led to this try.
I saw him walk past me as we were standing before they went to warm up. He's a beast, and he's been playing very well. He's everything he touches, you know, gets the team over the advantage line. He's a strong runner, big ball carrier. He's a definite asset for Western Province, and he's done well in this half.
So just taking a look at the key stats, it's very even in terms of possession and territory, but the Sharks dominated those statistics for the first 15, 16 minutes of the game.
And they have. And the issue, what I found about the Sharks, they're not able to build any momentum because they make silly mistake. A pass goes to ground at the right time. They're not clinical enough. They're not able to clean the ball and build phases around that possession they have. And they've got no one else to blame but themselves. And I think, you know, you can't help but think, what kind of mindset do they have? You know, on paper, they should dominate and clean out this Western Province team, but they're not able to do that. So they'll have a lot of work to do in the second half, but they can still win this game, which is important, and give themselves a chance.
Yeah, they've got to reset the goals now, don't they, Odwa? Because maybe what they've got to do is look to win the game. Don't think about bonus points, but rather think about the Windhoek Lager Griek was doing them a favour. If they win the game, no bonus point, they get to 30, and then they've got to hope that the Griek was win in Umbombela.
The second half is very important, and how they start in the second half will be, because Western Province are very confident at the moment. They know that they can win. If you look at that log, you know, they still have a chance to, if they win the game, even with just 4 points, they can still have a chance if Griquas win. So they still have everything in their hands. So it's important that they come out in the second half and put a better performance than they did.
You say better performance. What do they need to change tactically in the way they're approaching the game? They've had enough possession. They've had enough territory.
Yeah, well, I think they just need to be clinical, because a lot of times the ball goes to ground. It just disrupts the whole momentum. At the right time, they're not clinical enough. If they hold the ball and build those phases, soon that defense will crack. A defensive error will come from one of the players. They have the quality to still convert and win the game, but it's all about just being more precise on your execution and making sure that you convert.
And conversely, Western Province have played like a side with nothing to lose. They can continue to do so.
I'm sure they will. They will just go out and enjoy themselves. They've been in the same position last week, you know, where they were leading, and they don't want to lose the game again where they've been leading. So I'm sure it will be interesting to see how both those teams approach the second half.
Well, the Sharks with everything to do in the second half here at the Donny Craven Stadium. They trail Western Province by 15-0.
Roll out the barrel.
The team at Garden Rescue are transforming Wednesday nights.
I love it.
Stunning.
I love it.
Tackling the elements.
The storms are coming. Ooh.
And each other.
God, my feet feel better now.
You can't smell them anymore.
Oh, that's a dangerous thing to say.
To help turn backyard dreams into garden miracles.
Thank you so much. It is fantastic.
Garden Rescue, Wednesdays 8:30 on Living.
With Sky Go, nothing gets in the way of watching the shows you love. Whether you're on the go or just having a duvet day, Sky Go makes it easy to stream the big game or binge a box set. Browse the TV guide and remote record to your My Sky box from anywhere in New Zealand. Watch it your way on your smartphone, tablet or laptop, or cast to the big screen. Sky Go, it's Sky that goes with you. Download the app now for free.
See the world in a cup of tea. The new series, One Cup, 1,000 Stories, Sundays 8:30 on BBC Earth.
Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
My entire life got screwed up. Could you make it so that Mysterio never revealed my identity?
You ready?
Whoa, hang on. What just happened?
We tampered with the stability of space-time. The multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
Hello, Peter.
That's what greatness looks like. That is what the great ones do.
That's a goosebump moment.
They birdie 17 and 18 to win it.
He's fun to watch play golf.
The US Open starts Friday, Sky Sports 6. Brought to you by DVS Home Ventilation.
Welcome back to Donny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch on a beautiful Friday evening. The home side DHL Western Province lead the Cell C Sharks by 15-0, and a raft of changes made by the Sharks at half-time, which we'll get to in just a moment, but absolutely not the start they would have been wanting. So confirmation of the changes. Dean Bleuler is off at loose head. Kwesi Mona replacing him. Ben Tapwai replacing Murray Costa at inside centre. Reniel Hijo is on as well. So Kwesi Mona, 9th appearance in this Carling Currie Cup campaign. It is Ben Tapwai who played a number of games for the Reds in Queensland in Super Rugby. And this a Carling Currie Cup debut for Tapwai. Represented the Sharks in the United Rugby Championship, now getting his first appearance in this competition.
Ben Tapwai is there to get momentum. That's what the Sharks have lacked. Should have gone side to side. It looks impressive, but it's not really effective. You need someone that can go over the obstacles in front of him, and that's why Ben Tapwai is there.
So Reniel Hijo is locking with Leroux Roots, having replaced Hiron Andrews in the second row. And Kwesi Mona straight into the action on the loose head.
Wait for the set, boys. It's been good first half, both the hookers.
The Sharks certainly started the game brightly. They took the ball through phases. They looked comfortable with ball in hand. They showed no real desire to kick the ball, as we suspected, wanting to keep it in hand, but spurned a couple of opportunities which spurred Western Province, and they, by contrast, took their opportunities. They scored one beautiful try. The kick through from Lades. And a wonderful try of counter-attack as well. Lades' kick bouncing off Ben Tapwai and secured for the Sharks. Mona secures on the ground. Away by Hijo for Gumede. Buta Chamberlain, he replaced Kerwin Bosch relatively early in the first half, and gets excellent distance and a favourable bounce on that kick. And Ebenezer Chimanga contemplating a possible quick throw, and he has been full of running. He sparked the counter-attack that led to the second try from Western Province.
He's just been powerful, hasn't he? Just caught out of position. A great kick from Buta Chamberlain, almost a 50-22. So several changes made to give the Sharks a bit more energy up at set piece. The experience of Reniel Hijo.
Marcel Tennyson doing the job at line-out time for Western Province.
My answer's off. You can.
Percy off his favoured left boot. Awkward ball into the setting sun for Potgieter. Tackler not rolling away. You can see the legs there. It's Chimanga, who was caught on the wrong side of the tackle, unable to make his way out. Definitely prevented a quick ruck ball for the Sharks.
Yeah, and he's chasing his man from the back, Marnus Potgieter.
No, tackler needs to get out of the way.
Yeah, he didn't roll away quickly enough, even though the cleaners almost had him locked in there. He just didn't roll away quickly enough.
Unfortunately, I'm not a doctor. I wish I was, but unfortunately, I can't make that call.
Is it Ben Teron? No.
Tackler alongside.
Yes, it is. Ben Teron and Peter Ewerster. Never short of a word or two. Great servants of rugby in this part of the world. And Chimanga looks as though he's coming off. Is that maybe a...
Just make sure it's an HIA.
An HIA?
Time back on. Tackler.
Nombu Zwelendaba is going to be the man to replace Chimanga.
Yeah, it is an HIA. And Chimanga.
That's you. That's middle. That's
Nombu
you.
Zwelendaba in his debut season, 11th appearance in the competition this season. He's been a regular feature in this Western Province team.
That's once.
Moore stopped once.
No.
Miller trying to work his way through the middle, but there's a penalty advantage being shown by AJ Jacobs.
Playing advantage.
Vernecock away for Tapai, out the back for Chamberlain, and Angelo Davids. He knew as soon as he grabbed that ball that the whistle was going to blow.
6 and 1.
That's against Western Province. Some of the players, I think.
Give it through the middle.
Shane Alderson went up
both of you.
Around the side. I thought Ali Mark was fine initially. It was Alderson that went around, and then he played the ball play, or the feature at the back.
I think AJ Jacobs said 6 and 1, which would be Alderson and Vermaak, who he deemed
line is yours.
to have acted illegally at that maul.
How many receivers do you have?
Over.
Just lifting the pace a bit here, the Sharks kicking to the corner quickly, setting up the line out quickly, but more urgency.
Use it once.
Roots claiming that his legs are off the ground. He was never allowed to come to ground. The maul's moving sideways. And Van Vieren thought about passing it out of the back, then opting to take contact. Wright just reorganizing his forwards here. Lavaskachny. Then Jason Dixon almost having a go at the ball on the ground there. Series of pick and drives here from the Sharks, looking for their first score of the game.
Last man's feet.
Just a meter out. Roots and
Don't bind on me, leave him.
Roots unable to make any headway with that carry.
Stay on the line.
Western Province not really over-committing here around the fringes.
Offside.
Carry from Kwesi Mona. There's an offside call against Western Province, but the try is scored.
Yeah, it was patience needed from the Sharks. I think that's Kumbuza Nocha gets the try.
Yeah.
But the Sharks going route one, you can see Leroux's pretty prominent. This was penalty advantage. I think offside there, so Kumbuza Nocha just gets there in time for the try.
He scored an absolute beaut for the United Rugby Championship side in the quarter-final at Loftus Versfeld last weekend. Now on the score sheet in the Currie Cup, Sikhumbuzo Noche. Just his third appearance in this competition this season. And adds to his previous tally of 12 tries in the Currie Cup. But a Chamberlain adding the extra 2, so back within 8. Blades goes deep, and Cameron Wright has his kick charge down. And Sergil Peterson. Wonderful strip from Werner Kok there, and away by Wright. Fulmink. He's caught by Van Sale. Morna. Quickly off the line came the Western Province captain, Juan de Jong.
Get in line with the 9.
Werner Kok sets off after this one. Peterson gets into the air, but Kok timing the tackle to perfection. Percy. Kikimorabe. More good work on the carry from the number 8, Lades.
All on.
Chamberlain looks for the little dink over the top. It's charged down, and Miller is there to grab it, and Juan de Jong was away to his right, screaming for the ball. He has it now. Strong tackle from Labuskaghni. Away goes Percy. Here's Sergil Peterson. Little grabber through from him. Jeremy Ward goes back to rescue for the Sharks.
Well, Sergil Peterson rescued that because I don't think the chip was on. Here go Western Province.
And it's Tiernason. Forward pass. Angelo Davids can't believe it.
Don't have to check it, it's a forward pass.
I'm surprised they didn't call that back for not being taken from the mark, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought, look, it's the right thing. He just needed Angelo Davids behind him because there is space there. It was a walk-in for Angelo Davids. That's where the pressure came from. I think Boeta Chamberlain left that one too late. But Simo Miller got that ball. You give it to Juan de Jong straight away. He could have possibly got.
Shane Alderson, just some running repairs to the boots. Angelo Davids hasn't had a great deal of opportunity. Just caught in two minds there. Thought about, do I pass, then kick?
So Simo Miller catch and pass. Juan de Jong was calling for that on the outside.
New jersey required. Kwesi Morna.
Come back on.
Quite a number of kicks charged down in this game. A surprising number.
It's almost when the players are not sure whether, you're not going at full pace. So let's have a look, have a run, and then kick late is the last option, and the pressure's on.
It's well managed by the Sharks off the back from Sikhumbuzo Noche for Cameron Wright, who'd veered off to the right of the scrum. Good clearance kick from him. Just before that scrum, saw Ebenezer Chimanga going down the tunnel. Obviously has not passed that head injury assessment, so Numbo Zwelendaba will remain on that right wing. Off the top for Western Province, De Jong in the midfield. Tackle made by Van Vieren. Miller.
Yeah, Western trying to pick and go down the midfield. I understand what they're trying to do, sacking the Sharks defenders around the fringes because they're fanning, but then you've got to be accurate if you're going to do it. The ball carrier almost isolated by himself, and what a good position Western Province were in. Sharks defending that well. But yeah, the Sharks player shouting pick and go, pick and go. Exactly, so Jean de Jong's made meters. He's done his job here. You want to get fast ball. I'm not sure that pick and go. Simon Miller's going by himself. He needs BJ Dixon bound on him to drive him into contact. It's a late clean because a good leg drive has been made by Skumbuza Noche. So Western Province lacking accuracy there on attack.
Kieran Van Vieren for Leroux, Roots uncontested at the front. Quickly shifted into the midfield for Ben Tapwai. And a quick ruck ball for Cameron Wright. Van Vieren. Chamberlain, they're rushing up in the outside channel, so Fulmink back towards the inside. Right. Labaskachny. Made a couple of meters past the tackle, Chamberlain, and then Jeremy Ward. This is promising, and Potgieter it is. Right, Roots, wonderful line from the big lock forward. You're not going to stop him going at that pace, that close to the line, and the Sharks right back in this now. The conversion of formality, 2 tries within the first 13 minutes of the second half. Yeah, whatever message they were given has made its mark.
Yeah, better accuracy from the Sharks. You can see Butter Chamberlain taking the ball a lot flatter, so forcing Western Province defenders to come up and then getting the ball wide also. Great timing from Leroux Roots on the run with momentum. He must be 130, 35 kilograms, hard to stop if you're not going to tackle low. So the Sharks better accuracy and intent. Butter Chamberlain taking the ball flatter on the gain line and asking better questions. Leroux Roots. The tackle needed to be made by Fonseca.
So a couple of changes for Western Province. Bobby Alexander wearing jersey 21, Jared Taylor in 20, there he is. Taylor replacing Shane Alderson. And Bobby Alexander replacing Thomas Bursey at scrum half. So that now gives the Sharks a bonus point, takes them to 27, but with a inferior points difference to that of the Pumas. But they've found a bit of rhythm. 2 tries will have given them confidence.
Use 9.
Still a quarter of the game, plus a bit more to go, so they can realistically start thinking about a win here. But Peterson has other ideas. Puts it on the boot and chased down. Hands on the ball from Bobby Alexander. He thinks he's scored. First touch of the ball from Bobby Alexander is in the in-goal area.
That's the first thing.
Off a kick from Sergio Peterson. They're going upstairs to Egan Seconds, the TMO.
Check is, was 21 behind the kicker? And if so, we want to check the grounding because our on-field decision is no try. Let me say this: on-field decision is we're not sure.
Okay, just so the first thing we'll clear is whether the 21 was behind.
That's correct, yeah. We aren't sure. We don't know. Yeah. We won't. Just unsure.
Okay.
Try or no try.
Yeah,
just unsure because we've got 2 players diving for the ball.
The grounding's fine. It's whether it's in front of the kick or not.
Just the third option we're going with.
This is a really interesting thing because what AJ Jacobs has said is an on-field decision we're not sure. That would say, that would imply no try. So if it's no try, there has to be compelling evidence to overturn that decision.
Okay, AJ, we've cleared the fact that the player is onside.
Okay. Just cleared. Just cleared.
Well, from that angle, it looks good for Bobby Alexander. This might be more telling. Bounce of the ball. Now he's got his hand on the ball and... Wow.
Okay, AJ?
Yes.
Okay, so firstly the player is onside and secondly the player then grounds the ball, the white player, so you can award a try to Western Province.
Okay. Onside and try scored, so
tries awarded.
Yeah, I thought I don't disagree with the grounding. For me, it's whether it was in front of the kicker or not. It's probably the questionable one.
Yeah, but I guess what you need from the referee there is what is he not sure about? If he was confident that Alexander was onside, or if he's unsure, then there has to be that compelling evidence that he was onside. And Egan Seconds has satisfied himself with that footage.
This is excellent from Sergio Peterson. The parachute jumps straight into the air. There's some good little touches with the boot, Sergio Peterson, those little attacking kicks or little grubbers through for other players. But there he's up against the touchline and there's no one home on the inside.
Tell you what, there won't be many first touches like that in a game. Bobby Alexander getting his first try in Carling Currie Cup rugby in his debut season. His first touch of the ball off the bench. Magical moment for him. And now he gives it a more conventional touch. Back to Tristan Lades. Notcher.
Is he? Front of the kicker, number 20.
Offside.
Number 20
call
always
is against Jared Taylor, who was always in front of Tristan Lades. And
so it's a penalty where it's offside or a scrum where he kicked it. Penalty here. Mornay. Number 20 always advancing in front of the kicker.
So Western Province heading back with a converted try immediately after Leroux Roots had scored and Buddha Chamberlain had added the conversion. So now the Sharks looking to do exactly the same.
That's you.
Yeah, I thought Bobby Alexander, they should have gone with a contestable kick. This is a dangerous kick from Western Province because look how many Sharks players are back. Put it up in the air. At least you got a chance to get it back in a slow ruck ball.
Kieran Van Vuren finds Labuskaghni at the tail. There was a contest there from Ben Jason Dixon, but now he is compromised in his ability to defend the maul. Comes out the back for Roots. That's brave defence on the big lock forward. Does well to keep it in field though. Werner Koch working hard at the ruck as well. Clears off the base. It's a bit of a wild pass. And Gumede has to go back to consolidate for the Sharks.
No, stay here.
Right, Notcher. Zwelendaba was attempting the strip in the tackle. Mona. Chamberlain. Wonderful line from Reniel Hippo. The offload not finding its mark and picked up by Tristan Lades. Tipped on by Peterson. Couldn't find Angelo Davids. Real helter-skelter stuff here. Folmink has it. Looks for a little inside ball, but lost backwards. Or forwards, then backwards.
Yeah.
Lots going on there.
Well, it was almost the Sharks scoring and then almost the long run. I thought if Tristan Lades had not been stopped there, he was gone. Plenty of nerves there for the Shark supporters. But I think Tristan Lades just found the wrong person, a tight head prop. Marvin Mazibuko. Well, he was never going to back his pace, but he would back his skills to try and get the ball out wide. So helter-skelter, you're right. And Foreman could have, I thought, maybe just hold on to it a bit. It's quite a powerful runner, formed the run, and look to build from there.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Away by Alexander. Juan de Jong. Ran hard at Chamberlain. That was taken back.
Stay, all of you. Stay.
Lades.
Now you can go.
Potgieter. Finds Volmink. Smith went in for the ball and all tackle. Van Vieren at the back for Chamberlain. Piling in with a counter ruck, but the Sharks securing their ball. Hijo, Kunu. HP van Schoor on in jersey 16, and just not able to roll quickly enough. He was doing what he could, but he got a little bit pinned underneath there. Van Schoor.
Now the issue with Western Province is they're kicking long to the Sharks, so they're just feeding the Sharks on counter-attack, and the chase line's not getting up quickly enough. So every time a long kick flies, the Sharks are just counter-attacking, and they're forced to make 3 or 4 tackles after every tackle. And you can't tackle all day. That's why the penalty count's starting to go up, and the Sharks adding fresh legs the whole time. So a brand new front row now about to come on for the Sharks. The experience of a Vian Herbst, Dan Jooste, and Kwesi Mona on. So Western Province just hanging on defensively, not getting a lot of territory, so can't attack.
Yeah, so there come those changes. Dan Jooste, who's straight into the action with a line-out throw, replacing Kieran van Vuren. Vian Herbst for Kutamkunu. And Cameron Wright replaced at scrum half by Bradley Davids in his first season of Currie Cup rugby.
Middle.
Statement earlier in the week saying that Davids wasn't considered for national under-20 selection due to injury. He spent quite a lot of time out of the game. Good to see him back off the bench here for the Sharks. Some rich scrum half stocks in that part of the world.
That's once now. 9.
Both Jaden Hendrickson and Grant Williams having been asked to Springbok training camps.
Advantage.
David's taken out, but advantage.
Lazy running, having an effect on 9's ability to play it quick.
And then Dan Jooste with the pick and drive. David's back to his feet to make the pass for Mona. Roots, who has carried powerfully throughout. Davids. And here come the Sharks once again, just a couple of meters short.
Second advantage.
Roots standing off, he wants it. He's got 1 try already, and the Sharks on penalty advantage. Davids, and into the corner they go. It's a try for Manus Potgieter.
And you can see the tempo, the increase in the tempo since Davids has come on at scrum off. That ball just flying out those racks, and the big runner Leroux's having a big game in the second 20, some big carries, making meters.
And that's a 5th try in this year's Carling Currie Cup for Manus Potgieter. See, there's 2-3 defenders engaged there by the hulking frame of Leroux.
Yeah, 90 seconds after the try, so it's probably 60
space
seconds
away
left.
to the right of the ruck.
45 seconds left.
So back within 3 with a kick to come. And now 1 try away from a bonus point. The plot is thickening with every passing minute. Put a Chamberlain from the right-hand touchline. The assistants like it. And the Sharks within 1.
That's a great kick from Buta Chamberlain, but it's all the damage done by the carries from Leroux.
Subs. Are you making subs?
Davids. Great, nice, good flat pass.
It's already done. You can play.
Down to 5.
Yeah.
Porquita.
Okay, time off, time off.
Well, here's a special moment. Currie Cup
Okay, so he's on.
debut. Well, before we do that, OJ Noah, Samoan international, on for the Sharks, but also Jonathan Roach on in jersey 22 for Western Province. He's the man chasing down that restart, having replaced the Western Province captain Juan de Jong, just a year out of school. Jonathan Roach. And a Currie Cup debut for him. Davids off the left boot will test Sergio Peterson. And again, it's Werner Koch working hard to make the tackle and timing it well. Alexander van Schoor. Alexander again, Lades. Darting past referee Jacobs and a couple of Sharks defenders. Oh, that's a wonderful line, and Alexander with a man to beat. Can he get away from Chamberlain? Yes, he can. David's trying to hang on. He was looking for the offload, and Werner Koch was there to grab it. Could that be a game-changing moment? OJ Noah. So close to a second try for Bobby Alexander. Saved at the last minute by the hard-working Werner Koch.
Alexander did well. It was a good line from Quenza Blose, but Werner Koch, what good scrambling defense here. Great line. A nice support line also from Alexander. He's looking for the chip here. He reckons he's got the pace on the outside. But look at Werner Koch, never ever stops the whole time. Ball's knocked out. I think it was kicked out by David, out of the hands of Alexander. So as he goes here, Bobby Alexander packs his pace. So here we go. David. Oh, he tried to get the offload away.
Dixon's line-out win. Alexander, Smith this time. Quenzo Blosse again. Dixon's pick and drive. And over the ball goes Hijo.
Absolutely fine tackler. You good? Tackler.
The tackler hadn't rolled away. He's saying AJ Jacobs, Reniel Hijo was fine making his attempt.
I'm talking to the kicker.
You go for points here.
Absolutely. When the kicker says he has to go, we have to go. So the kicker says he's going for touch. That's why we're going for touch.
Jeremy Ward suggesting that the kicking tee had been brought on. And the referee saying, well, it's the kicker who determines what he's going to do. And he said he was kicking for the corner.
On the line.
The line is us. It's good. PJ Dixon with a pick and drive. It's Kubuza Noche. Probably didn't roll away quickly. That's a harsh one there.
Just a little conference for the Western Province forwards. They have not had many lineouts, if any, in this position. HP van Schoor. And stolen. Lovely read from Hijo. And the clearance made.
You can see what Reniel Yuko does. It's just experience here. He sets the trap at the back, so leaves that space open, then he moves very late because he knows that's the only place where Western Province could call. So smart. That's just experience from Reniel Yuko. He knew they were never going to call where he is, so it gives you the space behind him or the open space, and then he moves around.
Better this time for Tiernison.
That's once.
And Neil Hijo again, the man working hard to stop that more. Miller. Wonderful tackle from Noche. Johnny Roach, Lades. Alexander finds Dixon. Then Miller. Just a little lateral there from Western Province. Nobody running onto the ball with any real conviction.
Tackler. That's why you're on the ball, because the tackler is too slow.
It's the second time that the potential poacher has been told he's
okay.
okay.
The kicker indicates balls.
But the tackler not rolling away. And this time it will be an attempted goal for Cornell Smith. They'll try and open up a 4-point lead.
No, it's the kicker.
I'm not sure, Shim, that the
right
Sharks will mind that too much, because this would be a 4-point deficit. They'll regain field position and go for that 4th try.
It's going to come down to territory again. And there's still plenty of time for both teams. But the key is, I think Western Province, probably the one positive is they've got a bit more territory. You know, the Sharks were counter-attacking, attacking the penalty. Western Province penalty count went up.
That's another decent kick from Cornell Smith. As you mentioned earlier, sure, it's not a discipline he's had to deliver for a very long time, not least at this level.
You were perfect.
Just the one miss from the kicking tee, and that coming in the first half. Chamberlain certainly making his restart contestable, and the tireless Werner Koch hunts down Marcel Tennyson, who lets go of the ball, back to his feet, does brilliantly well, away by Taylor, Dixon, and back to Taylor.
Backwards, play on.
Lost backwards by Western Province. Tennyson is there. Alexander goes digging, away for Van Schoor. Roach bounced off the first tackle, then upended.
Okay, tackler, release.
Knee on the ground, tackler must release.
Okay,
Alexander, Dixon. The unlikely figure of Tristan Lades in there, cleaning a ruck. Blosset, he lost it in contact.
Good. Time off. Head down.
Yeah, that was... You see, the Western Province players or forwards have tried to go through the middle quite a lot with their pick and drives, trying to get the Sharks defenders to come a little bit closer so they can create space for the outside backs. But just no accuracy there again. Marcel Tennyson, what a game he's had. Him and Namaklava prominent for Western Province in the earlier Currie Cup games, but Tennyson's carried well, tackled hard, and been aggressive all day long, been busy. Sergio Peterson, exciting from the back. Linked well with his outside backs. We're used to seeing him at right wing. This game in the balance.
I've got a line. Coach. Bind. Sit.
Bradley Davids with the feed for the Sharks, and Notcher controlling, but it's been a swivel in that scrum. It was starting to look perhaps a little dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. It went down. That should have been blown a lot earlier. The scrum went down and then it continued.
Feet closer, no problem. Let's come just over the side. Feet closer, that's it. Here you go.
Just saw Hilton Lobbits a moment ago, warming up on the bench. 68 appearances in this competition. And if he is to come off the bench, it will be a first one for this season. Leon Lyons is also waiting.
Couch. Bind. Set.
Davids. And Chamberlain's kick. Blades was well positioned. Took his time with the hoist. It's Sergil Peterson chasing after it. Big collision in the air. It was lost forward by the Sharks. Miller. Butter Chamberlain was the man in the contest with Sergil Peterson. He's in the action again with a little grabber kick. Gathered by Butter Chamberlain. And he gets away from Peterson. Looking to his inside. This is wonderful from the Sharks. Lavaskotny. Over the top for Potgieter. Penalty, Western Province. Wow.
Drama in Stellenbosch. At one moment it looked like Western Province were about to score. Sergil Peterson, those kicks are falling all day long. This one could have gone badly wrong, and he managed to get back to rescue it. The beautiful passing and interlinking from the Sharks during that phase of play. So Sergil Peterson, this is excellent from Butter Chamberlain. And Sergil Peterson, he's chasing the whole time. Just works back. This was good play from the Sharks about keeping the ball alive, not forming the ruck. And there's Sergil Peterson over the ball, and he rescues it, but still plenty to go.
That's some work rate, isn't it?
I think he gave up the chase initially, then he thought, no, let me just stick in this one.
There you go. The Sharks, as it stands, would get a losing bonus point. Go to 27 points, but the difference in points difference between them and the Pumas is then 68.
It's a white player going down with the ball.
So it would take a crushing defeat of the Pumas by Griquas to see the Sharks into the semis. However, if they are able to score a try in the dying moments here, they would get a bonus point. Possibly win the game if Western Province don't score any more points, and then they'd be up to 31 and very much in the hunt for a semi-final. So much depending on the final 5 minutes of this game. There'll be some anxious eyeballs on it, and Nelspruit as well. David's
they've got options.
So few opportunities, and when they've come, they've been marginal.
He's had a quiet game, Angelo Davids, by his standard. We're used to him scoring tries or having all those big runs of his. But just too flat, wasn't he? He's disappointed with that.
Time off.
There's been a lot of anxious final 5-minute periods for Jerome Favata this season.
Yeah.
Look, he's seen it all in rugby. You can see the desperate. Such an important result for Western Province. Going into this game, you know, there's a lot of chat about the Sharks coming here, getting a bonus point win and trying to increase that points difference by 30, 40 points or whatever it is. But this game is still in the balance, in my opinion.
Yeah. Final instructions there from Etienne Finn. JP Peterson.
Just going to move it off the mark a little bit because of that ball.
Left of frame there.
Take it here. Okay. Let's go. Time on. Here we go.
So Leon Lyons is on.
Okay.
In jersey number 18, usually on the loose head side, packing down at tight head. Roberts into the second row alongside Ben Jason Dixon.
Crouch.
And a complete reshuffle of the Western Province backline. Tristan Blades at full back. Sergil Peterson on the wing. Johnny Roach at fly half. Cornwall Smith has shifted one in with Zwellandaba in the outside centre, so almost a complete reshuffle.
And a reset. Leon Lyons is a loose head prop who's covering the other side, and he's up against the experience of a Crazy Mona who's been around the Currie Cup setup for a while. You can see the Sharks trying to scrum for the penalty. Yeah, so they'll want to keep that ball in. And Leon Lyons will just try his best to hang on.
Coach.
Less than 3 minutes to play. The Sharks with just over 70 meters to travel.
9.
For a match-winning and a bonus point-winning score. They're not going to get it from there. There were a couple of knocks in there, there were. So it says AJ Jacobs, and crucially, the first was from a Sharks hand.
I just think the Sharks are just slightly impatient. You know, Ben Tapua is there to get momentum. Let him take the ball up and make some meters and nervous. Jerome Parvata in a tough Currie Cup.
You've walked all the way. You can't go down now. Let's go.
He's trying to get instructions down.
Let's go.
To his team.
Let's go.
So, you see the Sharks wanting to speed play up. Western Province will take their time with the scrum. It's an important scrum for Western Province. Bobby Alexander speaking to Sergio Peterson. Opportunity both sides. You know, got the danger of Sergio Peterson, Tristan Lates on the right-hand side. And Roach, young Johnny Roach on the left. So first things first, you got to win the scrum. Good scrum from Western Province, off to Roach. And Trillian Dava takes it into contact. He's fighting here. Can he get down to win the ruck?
Stop.
Yes. One of the Sharks players was down in contact there. So that's Anthony Folmink. As he went into contact, I think he got his head in the wrong position. So AJ Jacobs doing the right thing here, stopping play straight away. Safety first. For Anthony Folmink.
No problem. Thanks.
So Anthony Folmink. Just went down in contact as he made that tackle. Came up pretty quickly. And Trillian Dava.
Time check. Thank you.
Like the best medical care. So safety first important. AJ Jacobs did the right thing there to blow the whistle, stop play straight away. And make sure he's okay. Well, what a game it's been. The Sharks, can they do something special with a minute to go? Just over a minute to go to stay alive in this Currie Cup, and still plenty to happen this weekend. Bulls play Cheetahs, Grippers play Pumas. Later on tonight, Leinster versus Bulls, Stormers versus Ulster in the URC semi-finals. Should be a massive crowd tomorrow at Greenpoint Stadium. The Stormers having a very good home run against a tough Ulster team. This Western Province team has been excellent today on attack with Tristan Lates running the show. A fly half for Sergio Peterson, providing plenty of excitement and thrill from the back. It was one of the good tries here from transition. So Sharks turn the ball over. Canal Smith off to PJ Dixon. Look what he does here. He rolls the ball away in contact. And over goes Bursey. Then the Sharks had a fight back, using the experienced forward pack. Springbok 8, Kumbuza Noche goes over. The Sharks scored again. Great try. This was well executed. Probably Look like something out of the training field. Marnus Potgieter down. And look at this line here from Big LaRue Roots. Had a busy game with his carries. Sergio Peterson has set the field alight. Did again, yeah. Bobby Alexander had just come onto the field. The officials had to look at that a couple of times. The Sharks never stopped playing. And again, that man, LaRue Roots again, David, onto the field. Brilliant flat pass out to Potgieter. And the Sharks came within touch. They still are, but it's important they attend to Anthony Formick. Hopefully he's okay. We'll get the best medical care here. So look at the stats. I think a lot of handling areas from both teams. The ball has gone backwards and forwards. It's been an evenly matched game, I must say. The Sharks sort of edging in terms of position and territory. That's why that scoreline is like that, with just over a minute to go. Some good tries from both teams. A lot of them have come from handling areas, I suppose, from turnover attack. That's where Western Province have thrived. And the Sharks came out all guns blazing. Just probably lacked the penetration to get them a couple of tries early on. So Cameron Wright's going to come back on. So a bit of a backline shuffle for the Sharks. Hopefully everything's fine with Anthony Formick. Jacob saying it's an HIA, so hopefully everything is fine. We'll get some feedback from downstairs soon enough, hopefully, but wishing Anthony Formick all the best. So we look at more Carling Currie Cup rugby coming up. Later on, the Pumas versus Griquas. What an important game for both teams to stay alive in the top four. Then the log leaders, Cheetahs versus Bulls. Probably playing for the right for top log, well, to get that position, top of the logs, to see who can host.
Here we go, boys.
First year semi-final, then a final at home.
Come on.
It's going to be a Western Province feed here. Bobby Alexander to feed the ball. There has been a bit of a reshuffle, so Berlin Dub at the back, Johnny Roach. Western Province probably look to keep this tight. But first you need a solid scrum.
Offside.
That's the penalty that Western Province wanted. They went back for the play down the blind side, and that's a trying to play for the penalty. So I'll just like to bleed the clock here as the notes penalty advantage. The forwards will keep it nice and close. You see Bobby Alexander with the two pockets of forwards working side by side. 30 seconds to go. This is penalty advantage
nowhere. Offside.
For Western Province.
Centre.
It's going to be interesting. Do they go for the line out?
10 seconds left. Who's the kicker? Pulse.
Yeah, that's all they wanted. So Western Province has been a tough season. They've dug deep.
You indicated poles.
And they've indicated for poles. So, if anything, Cornell Smith will want to kick this and kick it over the dead ball line so the Sharks don't have the opportunity to counter-attack. We've seen stranger things in rugby. So Cornell Smith, clock is up here. If anything, if he does miss it, he'll want to kick it as long and as hard as possible into the stands. And he gets it over, so no need to kick it over. This Western Province team has dug deep today. Up against the Sharks team with plenty URC players. Against all odds, Western Province have won at home. Bobby Alexander had good impact when he came off. Quenza Plose. Hilton Roberts back in the Province jersey. Coming in from club rugby. Cornell Smith, what a game he's had. PJ Dixon. So it's been a tough old tussle for this young Western Province. It's been a tough season, but they finish up on a high against the Sharks team. Against the Sharks team, 3 tries each. A lot of handling errors, but Western Province seemed to use those better from turnover. But Tristan later fly off the Tim Swill got injured. He had a good game. Cornell Smith and Juan de Jong pretty direct. And Chimanga looked exciting. So Matt Pierce is downstairs with man of the match.
Well, thank you, Shimmy. We have our Carling champion of the match. It's DHL Western Province fullback Sergil Peterson. Sergil, I say fullback. You've operated most of the season on the wing, got an opportunity at the back this evening, and certainly seemed to relish that opportunity.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just grateful to be on the field, you know, playing 80 weekend after weekend. It's just, for me, I feel blessed. I mean, the past couple of years, for myself, especially with injuries, hasn't been very easy. But last year, this year, I've completed full seasons without any difficulties when it comes to injuries. So I'm just blessed to be on the field and enjoy my rugby again.
You're one of the most experienced players in the squad. It's been a frustrating season at times. How important to finish the campaign with a win here this evening, however it came?
Definitely, I think this was just to prove something to ourselves that we are a quality team and we can produce an 80-minute performance. I think it's been very difficult for us this whole campaign with going leading halftime or coming all guns blazing the first 20 minutes and not being able to finish it in the end. Today we produced an 80-minute performance and yeah, it's just a great feeling to win.
Thanks, Sergio. Well done.
Cheers. Thanks.
Tomorrow's champions are inspired by today's, but they can only be what they can see. That's why Sky brings you more strength, skill, and courage. And not just on the pitch, but all over the game plan too.
This is what we've been waiting for.
See the rise, see the potential, see history being made, see the possible.
That's what greatness looks like. That is what the great ones do.
That's a goosebump moment.
The US Open starts Friday, Sky Sports 6. Cutting edge F50s take to the water with new rivalries and more drama. Get ready for adrenaline-fueled racing. United States Sail GP starts June 19, live Sky Sport.
What a season he's had. He's over. Judas on fire. Power play. That is the creature's way. There's a chance. What drama. What about the Golden Lions? Perfect season. This is what it means. According to extraordinary final. And the celebrations begin.
Round 14 at the Toyota Stadium here in Bloemfontein. The two leaders at the moment in the Carling Currie Cup. Toyota Cheetahs at home up against the Vodacom Bulls. Well, it's a pretty cool evening here, one's got to say, too, in Bloemfontein, and we can see the temperatures going down to -1 at one point in time. So brilliant out there. Now Sam Ladidi caught up with the coaches a little bit early on.
Gert, a lot of attention has been placed on the Cheetahs as far as how this 1-2 is going to finish, but perhaps now a chance to lock horns with it up front.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be a massive challenge for us today, because we've got about, say, 28 players in Dublin at the moment, and but we've got a couple of experienced players, but also a couple of youngsters. So really looking forward to what the youngsters can do and what they can put together.
How have you gone about putting those combinations together with one or two experienced campaigners in the form the likes of Lionel Mapu, with one or two of the youngsters coming into the side?
Yeah, you sort of through your system, you try to put certain things in place so that they can talk as often as possible, and also give them the opportunity on the field as well, so that those small little fine details that really makes the difference, and to get a little bit more rhythm. So hopefully we can get it tonight and put a good performance together.
It's a huge game tonight. All the very best.
Thanks very much.
Harvey's, given the last two results that you guys have had, is there a little bit of extra pressure on today's game?
There will be. We let ourselves down. It wasn't great performances, especially the one 2 weeks ago against Griquas was a performance to forget. So we've got another chance to rectify it, and we still got a chance to finish top of the lock, which was our goal from the start. So luckily we're still in this position, and it's a lot of motivation for us to perform well and to get back on the bike again today.
Plenty of changes coming into the side today.
Yeah, there were some changes. Some were rotational, some were things that we thought this is the guys we need for the game today and how we want to play. So there were a few changes, and some guys coming back from injuries or illness, like Siama Suku and Clayton Blommetjies. So we're glad to have them back.
What are a couple of things that you've identified to work on for today's game?
There were plenty, but the main thing for us will be to execute really well. Last week against the Pumas, we didn't start well. The first three line-out plays, we lost the ball within one phase, made a lot of mistakes, and then had to come back from a big deficit in the second half and nearly made it. So we want to start well, and that will happen only if we execute everything we do in the first 15 to 20 minutes, get ourselves into the game and get our rhythm going.
All the very best for a big game.
Thanks, appreciate it.
So some very, very honest appraisal there, evaluations from the coaches in respect